Now, as a television producer, now we're going to talk about how do we start as an artist. Okay, here's a little tidbit of information. Back in 77, from 78 to 1980, so from 78 to 1980, just by coincidence, I used to be a subcontractor for our now current president, Donald Trump, in New York. I used to work for him doing sheetrock, and in doing sheetrock, I also used to do what's called faux marble, which is faux meaning false, marble, where it's a painting technique that you can paint forever. The whole building a mile long, and the marble looks the same. It was created in the late 70s because what they found out was natural marble, the vein of natural marble, changes color. So if they wanted to do a building like in the White House or a congressional, Senate, any government building that they really want are going to pull out all the stops. They would first say, well, we want to do marble. But what they found out was once you get around 20 feet, 30 feet along the line, the colors can change dramatically where it looks like you could start off light. Now you're in a very dark area of that same vein, and it looks totally different. So they came up with a technique called faux marble. That's just a little, how the beginning, but I always was into painting and sculpting and artistry as a young man. But that's just a little side note. That being said, I come down here. I have now half my income, and I have, which I'm not complaining, and I have 98% of all our debt. So my first thought was, I want to save money. I want to pay down our debt, but I want to be able to have a little money in my pocket, and I also want to build my bank account because now I'm broke. I have income coming in, which is now a lot less, but I have all this huge debt. So what makes sense? Get a job. Ended up getting a job at Sam's Club in the restaurant. That lasted 6 weeks. After 6 weeks, I ended up telling my boss, "You're fired." He just cracked up laughing. He said, "I'm fired." I said, "You're fired." I said, "You're fired and you're tired." When I first started that job, just a little side note, when I first started that job, there was a nice young man there named Bubba. First employee who worked there who came up and introduced himself to me. I worked in a restaurant. He goes, "They're going to have you running that restaurant by yourself." I said, "That's impossible." I said, "There's a reason there's 2 cash registers there." I said, it's a 4-man job. You got to make the food. You got to cook the food. You got to pay for the food. You got to clean the floors. You got to empty out the garbage cans. Then you have to go outside where the people sit and clean the tables and the floors and the soda machine area. It's impossible. One person can't do it. That man was not lying. He said, "Yeah, they're going to have you cleaning that. He's going to have you run the restaurant by yourself." He said, "I've been here." I said, "How long you been here?" He said, "I've been here 5 months." His job was, he worked in maintenance, but he was a janitor. His job was to clean the floors and change all the garbage cans out the whole store in an 8-hour period. Do all the floors and do the garbage cans. He said, they started me out with 2 guys. Now I'm doing the whole building by myself, which never gets done in 8 hours. That's how Sam Clubs rolls in Easley, South Carolina. So, lo and behold, started me out with 2 people. Then with 2 other people, it was 3 of us. Then they started me out with just me and another person. And at lunchtime, you're by yourself, which is fine because you're only working by yourself for 30 minutes. And then next thing you know, these people were like, if they think you can handle it for 30 minutes, they assume you can run the place by yourself, and you will be working, doing like 4-hour clips by yourself. The oven has 3 burners in it. 1 unit, 3 slots to place food. When I first got there the first week, the top one broke. 2 weeks later, the second one broke. Now, literally, I'm in there by myself with one burner. That was 6 weeks of being here. I told the boss I'm done. I'm out of here. Like, these guys, stuff break down, they don't fix it, keep rolling. When I quit that job, walked out to the parking lot, not my parking lot, walked out to my car in the parking lot. I'm like, okay. All right, God. You know I did the best I can do. This is ridiculous. I said, this is some crazy, insane stuff they got going here for employees. I got to do something. So he said, I kid you not, I heard a voice clear as day, like a person was standing there. Do your artwork. Make a sculpture. That's a good idea. I said, because this way I do have income coming in. And I'm blessed with that. So I said, if I could find me a small, cheap place, I don't need pretty. I just need electricity, access to a toilet, and water. I'm good. So I ended up renting out my uncle's shed, and that's a whole nother story that is totally not cool, how I ended up renting out a shed, but I'm not going to get into that. And I had the privilege and was blessed to be in on the creating process of the Damemadame sculpture. Because, in my opinion, the creator created it, but blessed me with the opportunity to be his apprentice and watch him put it together. What makes the Damemadame sculpture special is the fact that it does radiate a healing energy. And that was the purpose that was the finished goal I was going for. Now, what I'm working on is capturing that energy in the form of photographs and letting people download the photograph, giving out the photographs for free. And I'm asking the world to help me by applying it in your life some way. Like, I give an example. Now, my mother has a lot of ailments. She's always complaining about pain. Always. Or put it like this, was always complaining without telling her. Because you don't want a person in mind, you don't want to put the placebo effect going on there. I put a photo underneath her bed. Complaint stopped. From the day I wrote down the date and the time I put that photo underneath her bed, no more complaints about pain. My uncle, who I rent from, the shed I'm shooting this video in now, he's 82 years old. And he would just have pain. He'd go to sleep, wake up in the morning with pains, which is understandable. In mind, he's 82 and neglects his health. This isn't the guy who always ran and went to the gym, worked out. No, my man he smokes every day. He's anti-exercise and don't take care of himself. So, of course, pain issues, understatement. There's times we'll be talking about, yeah, this hurts, that hurts. Without telling him, I put a copy of the picture underneath his bed. The man has not complained yet. So that's 2 people who don't know that the picture is underneath their bed. They're exposed to the energy from a photograph of a sculpture. The photograph is radiating the same energy that the sculpture radiates. Healing energy. Guess what? No complaints. So what I'm doing is I'm asking the world, I'm asking you to download as many copies as you want. Please. I need feedback. If you have a person that's in pain, or and here's the thing, let's take it to the brig on this thing, all right? If you have a person who lies, steals, on drugs, or just mean, want to fight all the time, please download the picture, put it underneath their bed or their chair without telling them. Write down the time and date when you did it. Write down their mood. Write down what the weather was outside. 3 days, for the next 3 days, watch what they do. Watch how they act, what they say. After 3 days, write down your observations. When you write them down, contact me. Let me know what's going on. Do the same thing for another 3 days. Let me know what's going on. So that's a total of 6 days. Contact me and let me know. I want to collect data on the effects that this healing energy is having on people. And that's what I'm asking the world to help me, to help you make this world a better place. Damemadame, Damemadame.com. Damemadame, your infinite energy artist. Till next time.